Hi everyone, Dr. Mike Strecker here at Paul's and Calls Animal Hospital. We got Tyke here. Tyke is one of those brachiocephalic breeds, we call them. Brachiocephalic means that they have the smush nose and the eyes and the folds. They tend to have the short stubby legs, so bulldogs, pugs, Pekingese, things like that. A lot of people like them. We get them in and everybody wants to get them. But you got to be aware they are very cute, but they also high maintenance. And when people don't do the maintenance they need on their pet brachiocephalic breeds, we end up with a lot of issues. Sometimes they even need to have medical attention. We're one of those. If you look at the eyes real close, it's hard to see because they're so squinty, but that lower lid is actually rolling in and touching the eye. And if it rolls out, that's how it should be. And because he's such a snuffy nose, it is now causing his eyelid to roll and touch his eye, which can lead to issues. And he does have an ulcer on one of his eyes, and we're treating that currently. You can't see it, but was diagnosed at another clinic. So that's a concern you have to have. Part of the reason the eyelid pushes into the eye too is because this big nose fold. You see this fold here? It pushes on the eyelid, it causes the eyelid to roll in. And you could imagine having your eyelashes touching your eye all day long, how irritating that would be. So those are things that sometimes need to be medically corrected by surgery. But some things we don't correct surgically, we have to do maintenance-wise. So things like the folds here. You see all this darkness in there? That is debris building up in the nasal fold. Up here we got a fold there. Sometimes they have a fold on their tail too, or folds in their neck and stuff to get bad on some of the breeds, but these are areas where bacteria, yeast, and debris builds up, and you can see when I rub it, oh, it feels good. But that's where we need to be doing daily wipes and cleaning that out for these guys. The other problem these guys have is because they're shorter mouth, they usually have an underbite, and their teeth are a little more crowded, so they tend to have more teeth and tartar problems. So we see that a lot with these guys. So daily brushing of their teeth is definitely mandatory compared to a large breed dog that doesn't have the short nose. And then you get into the respiratory issues, and that is a different story. And some dogs need to have surgery for that too. So even though they're very cute, they can end up being medically more expensive, and daily and weekly care can be a little more involved. Typically the ears tend to have problems too, because again, when you smush the neck, you smush the ear canal, and they tend to get more wax buildup, which leads to more bacteria and yeast. Love wax. So then you get a little party going in there and they get ear infections. So you want to be routinely cleaning ears on these guys. Use an ear cleaner designed for dogs, something that has a drying agent in it. If you think you got an infection, you want to see your vet, because then you're going to need some antibiotics or medication too. But typically what you do with an ear cleaner is you fill the ear full. And we have shown this before, so I'll just do it real quick. You want to fill the ear full with the cleaner. Again, only use the ear cleaner, don't use water, alcohol, or hydrogen peroxide. And then you massage the canal. And as you massage the canal runs down the side of the ear, and you're not going to pinch the eardrum is inside the skull. So you massage it like that, work it up real good, then take something soft. I like to use gauze, but most people don't have gauze, so you can use like a Kleenex. I don't like paper towel because of that. So, excuse me. You want to wipe out the ear, and you can kind of work your finger in there as deep as it'll safely go without hurting. So I usually just go down until I feel the canal, and then I try to get the grooves there, and you kind of wipe it out. By filling it with the cleaner, and you can see how much debris we're getting out of there. By filling it with the cleaner and massaging, you're using the cleaner to kind of break stuff up where you can't reach. So that's why it's important to use a good quality ear cleaner and try to get in there deep. For the nose folds, you can buy wipes. We actually have some wipes here. These are medicated wipes for the fold, and they come out in little pads, kind of like makeup pads. And they are a little expensive when they come in this form. You want to be careful you don't touch the eye surface with them, but if you can get in there to the fold and you can run in that fold without getting in the eye, that's what you want to be doing. You clean out that fold. You'll get better at this if you have one of these guys, but it's a lot of work, okay? And see how we like that? And again, see all that yellow debris? That's all that yeast and bacteria and stuff coming out. And remember, we got a lot of folds, so we're gonna get this nasal fold too. You like that? Oh, there's a fold, that feels good. So I kind of get that fold cleaned out. Now, one little secret you can do, and see how much debris we got out of there. And if we don't clean that out on a regular basis, they get an infection in there, and they can actually get pretty ulcerated and good dermatitis going. Another option to buying this stuff is you can buy a medicated shampoo that has a chlorhexidine, and usually we have like a Zoll, and Zoll is like an anti-yeast product. You buy this, you put a little bit in a Tupperware bowl, mix a little water in it, and then you take some makeup pads or gauze and you soak it in that Tupperware bowl, and that becomes this. And it's a little bit cheaper because this is going to go a lot longer than a tub of this. So that's something you can try sometimes. Then the other thing is, remember, your teeth can be a problem, so you want to try to brush their teeth. Because they have a short nose, they're much harder to brush their teeth than other dogs. Because when I brush teeth, I like to try to hold the nose, take a toothbrush with dog toothpaste on it, and you slide it in and brush. And you want to get back in that corner in the cheek pouch because that's where those big teeth are. And then you come forward, come across, set it down, switch hands. Again, gently hold the nose closed, which is hard on these guys because they have a short nose. But you try to do the best you can, and you brush the other side. Notice I didn't open the mouth. Most of the tartar and problems occur on the outside edge of the teeth here, the canine, and then back into the corners back here. It doesn't hurt getting the front teeth too, but so if you can brush with the mouth closed at least, you're gonna get 80% of the problems. So there you go. So high maintenance dogs, they do tend to get other issues too. Watch their weight. They have short stubby legs that are bowed, so their joints take a lot more pressure than a normal dog. So we gotta make sure they don't get overweight because that puts more stress on their joints and they can end up with arthritis and other issues down the road. So if you end up getting one of these guys, keep a close eye on them. Chris just mentioned the allergies. A lot of them do have allergies, and guess what? We have some allergies here, and we are treating for that too. And then you got to deal with that too. So a lot of different issues that can occur in these cute breeds. They're brachiocephalic breeds, but just keep in mind if you get one, there's a lot of maintenance and potentially some medical issues that you may have to deal with down the road.